Welcome back to the Reptiles With Podcast. Today we're hanging out at Tampa Repticon. Woo! Thank you so much to Repticon for sponsoring this video. Make sure you make it out to your local Repticon show. Eric and I kind of spent the day walking around. It was kind of nice to get back into the swing of things. I feel like I haven't done a show in a while, dude.
Have we not?
No, dude, because I try to not, overbook myself, and I always, I feel like I should. I really want to book more Repticons next year.
We got a couple coming up though.
Yeah. Is that we had the Daytona in August. Daytona, I didn't book a Repticon. August, I didn't book a Repticon. September, I don't remember. I think September I did the Lakeland show.
That's right. Yes.
And then October was Animal Con, so I didn't book one in October, and now we're November. Yeah, man.
One coming up in December too.
And that's gonna be the last Repticon of the year, dude. Yeah, man, it's a chill vibe today. We got to walk around, check out a bunch of animals. Was there anything specific that stuck out to you?
I mean, it's nice to see knobtails, of course. I don't really see a lot of knobtails. There's a couple carpets that hung out with today.
Yeah.
What else did we see?
We got to see all the Lacerdas at Eddie's table.
Yes. Eddie's has some pretty cool Lacerda stuff. And apparently Timon.
Yeah.
I learned a little bit of the difference between that.
You want to talk a little bit about what the differences of these Lacerdas are?
I already forgot it. So if you want to know, you got to talk to Eddie.
Yeah.
Lizard Man Eddie.
Yeah, man. So if you guys can't tell, Eric is super sick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got the sick nasty.
He has the sick nasty, but we're going to power through it. In a little bit, we're going to bring in we're going to do one interview this podcast, and then at the tail end of it, we're going to kind of just recap the weekend. Yep. But yeah, this show has been, it's pretty chill. As far as people, we don't see a lot of people walking around with animals that they purchased, but also Tampa kind of got destroyed not too long ago with the two storms back to back. So if you're from Tampa, sorry for what happened. Yeah. And if you're not from Tampa and you want to help out, there's a bunch of places where you could donate or help out.
But even though today's show is pretty chill and very, I guess, casual. I mean, December's coming, so I think things will get, back into the regular swing of things once December rolls around, just because holidays, of course.
Yeah.
I don't always recommend it, but reptiles tend to be a very lucrative
Christmas present or holiday
Christmas
present
and stuff like that. So if you choose to do that, just be aware. At least let them know beforehand. But
yeah. Also, make sure you get all the supplies too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, just make sure that this is something you can actually do, because I can guarantee you, a lot of the time, it's not as simple as just bringing the animal back. There's a lot of stuff to think about when it comes to, one, getting an animal, of course, but also talking with, a seller or a vendor, to bring back the animal if that's even a possibility. So you never know.
Yeah.
Just do your research, guys. Just don't. I know it's cute and it's cool to see him on Instagram and stuff, but I mean, just Google search never ever fails you. So,
have you ever received an animal as a Christmas present?
Not an animal, but I have received animals as presents in general. And
how has that been as an experience?
It's just been lucky for me, just because I happen to have the space and I happen to have the ability to do it. Like Sulcata I used to have, that was basically that. It was kind of thrown on me. My first snake, my corn snake, was a present as well. And that one kind of came with everything, but I mean, I was also not, I had the ability. I was very fortunate to grow up with my parents that let me have this stuff. So it's not like the doors were closed. But never received it as a present. I always hoped for it, but maybe it's better,
Okay.
Yeah, have you?
No, that's actually a lie, dude.
What?
That is a lie. I have received a striped mud turtle as a present before.
Really?
Yeah, my third one.
Oh.
When I had the pair, I was thinking about getting an extra female, and I found a website that had some adults for sale, and I kind of just floated it around. I was like, oh, this is nice. Hey guys, you guys see this website that has a turtle that I've been looking for?
Oh my God.
And so I did receive one as a present.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. So I know we're talking.
That was actually my first blonde mud turtle.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's the real.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know we're talking about Christmas and it's still November. I don't like doing November dirty like that. So, because it's Thanksgiving month, is there anything that you're thankful for in terms of what we've been doing with the shows and all that stuff? Or,
Well, in a couple weeks, we are going to have our Thanksgiving episode where we get
to
talk a lot about what things that we're thankful for. But I'm thankful other than the stuff that is going to be spoken about, I am thankful for continue to be able to do this. I'm thankful for Repticon for always having us out and all that jazz, dude. What about you?
I feel very similar. I look back a lot. Like, I know with what I'm doing now, it's kind of like, it's very normal for me. But if I go back to like a little kid Eric, it's pretty cool to see the stuff that I'm doing. Not just with Repticon stuff, but in general. So
yeah,
it's nice to come to the shows because this is the place where all my ambitions and ideas kind of started to create themselves.
Yes.
So it's cool to come back to that same setting at a table or like, just doing the stuff that we do with the people we know. It's just cool.
Cool.
I'm very thankful for that.
We're gonna bring somebody on in just a second, and when we come back, I want to talk to you about Sharp, the place that we saw, and then a couple of other specific highlights from the show. But yeah, we'll be right back.
Let's do it.
My name's Tyler Cottingham. I run Quality Bred Exotics.
Hell yeah, Tyler, my friend, you have a story for us.
Yeah, so this snake right here, I actually got a call during the last 2 storms ago, Helene, and someone said their neighbor was throwing their reptiles outside because they were evacuating. And I got there, it was like 15 minutes from me, and when I got there, this snake was crawling around out front.
Yeah.
So I got him, and I've had him for a little bit now, and it's healthy, and I just don't know why someone would throw this outside.
Yeah. Did they like had multiple reptiles that got...
They said that there was a ball python and a boa, and somebody else had already got the ball python.
Oh, okay.
So there was nothing like left out there still.
Okay.
But I went there before almost right after they pulled out of their driveway. I was there.
Is it a male or a female?
It's a male.
It's a male.
Yeah.
Well, this male is called Helene.
Yeah.
Did you name it?
I did not yet.
No. Well, that's Helene.
To be honest, it hated me until this morning.
Really?
Yeah, it was not nice.
Okay.
It's probably just cold right now.
Okay, that's true.
Probably turn and tag me at some point.
Well, I'm glad you brought that really close to me.
Yeah, that's why it's on this side.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Well, I'm glad that you went and you did that. That is a good deed. I don't understand how somebody could just put their animals out like that, especially because, like, did you think that would be the best thing for the animal because your house might get hit, but did you not realize that the animal is going to experience the storm outside? Like, I don't understand the thought process of something like that.
Yeah, I think mainly is probably worried about flood damage, which, like,
got you.
If you only had 2 snakes, though, just bring them with you.
Yeah, that's not...
I mean, I stayed home because I have more snakes than I can bring with me, so I was going to swim with them.
Yeah. Okay, so... let's say you have to prep for a storm. How would you prep for a storm?
Depends on how bad it is. If it's something that we have to evacuate, I have to pack up every single animal.
Yep.
And I have a few different areas that I have, like, set up if I need to set up the frogs for a little bit if we lose power.
Yeah.
Like, I was out of power for 14 days between the 2 storms.
Wow.
So I had to set up all the frogs at a few people's houses because they had to have the lights in the water. Yeah. Everything was the only things that were in deli cups was like 2 days during the actual storms when I didn't know like if the water was going to come in. Cause I'm at 8 feet above sea level, so I was a little worried in St. Pete. But we packed everything up, and then once the storm passed, it was fine. But we were out of power, so it's constant like cooling everything down and going to multiple places to take care of the reptiles, so it was a lot.
Yeah. How were you able to cool things down, especially for the frogs?
Mainly we got ice cold water from like gas stations and stuff to spray them with, and we just sprayed them with cold water throughout the day. Got
you. Well, I'm glad that things are starting to get better. How is just the general vibe in the community in this area?
The vibe in the community is kind of rough. Outside of the reptile community, I mean, it's you drive down the road, there's trash everywhere. Everyone's belongings are outside, tree branches. So it's a little disheartening. The community's kind of come together a bit and like work together to clean up and do as much as we can. But I mean, dump sites are still closed even. So.
Yeah, I was Eric and I kind of spoke about it a little bit earlier. How like not a lot of people are really. That's kind of like the vibe within the vendors. Everybody's kind of saying, "Oh, nobody's really buying anything," and it's just like, well, yeah, because a storm just fucking passed by here, 2 back to back, man. Yeah, dude. Well, was there anything like other than you losing power? Was there anything crazy that happened for the storm?
I mean, we got like 2 inches of water in the reptile room, so I kind of had to drag it all out. But compared to everybody else, I was blessed, honestly.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that it wasn't, other than the power. What do you do now? Now that the power's back on, how do you how do you fix, even though it was minimal damage, how do you fix that damage? What are the steps that you're taking?
Well, I got the whole reptile room gutted out and cleaned and everything already. Now it's just kind of getting everything back on their cycles, the light cycles, the rain, the breeding cycles. So it put a halt on a lot of stuff, but nothing it didn't stop anything ultimately. So all in all, it wasn't too bad. Okay,
cool, man. Cool. Well, that was Storm Talk. Storm Talk, meteorology, brought to you by the Reptiles With Podcast. So, we're at the show. We're hanging out. I saw something cool at your booth. What do you think I'm going to tell you it is? Eric, you want to grab this snake, bro? This guy's kind of escaping.
The Vietnamese Blue Beauty?
No, try again.
Ackie monitors?
No.
Oh, I'm horrible.
Dude, the banners.
Oh, yeah, the new banners.
Dude, the banners look great, man. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah,
You've come a long way, bro.
Yeah, I barely had a tablecloth 2 years ago. So yeah, so we're getting there. I've been working with a lot of new people. I'm doing things on my own. Got rid of a lot of people that were kind of holding me down. So in the community, I mean.
Got you. Well, it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things that in any circle, any community, any niche, any hobby, there's going to be the people that are good for you and the people that are bad for you. And it's kind of like when you're growing up, you have your circle of friends and there might be 1 or 2 bad seeds and they're the ones that peer pressure and they do this and do that. And you got to kind of cling on to the people that give you value and you're valuable to them, and you kind of all just grow together, and it's not a competition. It's you kind of hope for equal grounds as you guys are growing. Yeah.
It's a hobby at the end of the day. We're supposed to be working together.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially like if we're breeding the same thing, I think it's powerful for the hobby. I think that if we work together, we have different bloodlines, different genetics, but a lot of people don't see it that way.
Yeah. I think that I've been lucky to have a lot of the people that I have around me, because like David, that he hangs out with me at the shows now for Mad Ball Pythons. He was kind of like my mentor with the ball pythons. And even though he's selling animals there and I have my ball pythons here and our prices are different, we don't feel like we're even though we are in competing with each other, we don't. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like it because he makes a sale, I get happy for him.
Exactly.
I make a sale, he gets happy for him.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah, for sure. You have anything exciting coming up? Anything cool?
My frilled dragon should be laying by the time I get home.
Indonesian or?
Indonesian.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. I was told that it was an Indo and an Aussie
cross
after I got him, but it was supposed to be Indos.
Got you. Regardless, cool animals. Yeah.
And then I got more Ackie eggs on the way, and a few other projects coming along. I got some special tree frogs in the rain chamber right now.
What do you mean special?
Camos.
Oh, you do?
I do, yeah.
Dude, I saw Ron St. Pierre and Heather had some.
I got one off of them. Ron and Heather have produced amazing frogs.
Yeah.
I bought
Unfortunately.
One.
I'm kidding.
Ron, don't see this.
I'm going to send this straight to him.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, Ron? You know what it is? They don't want me to go to their house anymore.
Yeah. It had to be.
Let's just flood this place with frogs so Yoshii never has to come over here.
I was going to bring one on the podcast, but I didn't want to do this alone. I don't know how to work it.
I was actually, so when I had gone to your table and I was like, bring something cool, I was going to tell you to bring a frog, and then I realized you kind of can't stop them from jumping.
Big Bertha, I bring her to birthday parties and stuff.
Yeah.
The people come to the show just to see her. They bring her hat. She has a whole collection.
Yeah.
She'll sit right here the whole time.
Dude, so I posted on the Repticon Instagram, I posted Big Bertha with a hat on, and I was so mad how few people saw that.
Oh.
I'm going to wait a little bit to post it again, but yeah, dude, like that is the cutest thing ever, and I don't like frogs.
Yeah, I originally was bringing her to shows, like display her in a little setup. Yeah. But every single show I do now, I have people ask me about her, so I bring a big, nice display for her.
That's so funny, bro. You have friends saying hi to you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. So anything you want to plug, anything you want to, shout out and stuff like that?
We got the Cross County show coming up on Cyber Monday.
Okay, talk to me about that.
That's our 1-year anniversary show.
Okay.
So we'll be back on there live. We have like 12 vendors again coming on. So
cool, bro.
It's exciting.
Can I give you advice of where to do that?
You told me about the Streamlabs. I've been trying to play with it. I think we're going to go for it.
If you don't do Streamlabs, Palm Street.
Palm Street is so we've debated it, and a lot of people are doing the lives on Palm Street and stuff, but it's kind of like a individual thing. I don't know. We can't really
with vendors.
Yeah, we draw vendors together for like a show kind of, so people get excited for multiple vendors.
Yeah.
On there, like we can drag people in live, but like you have to link a credit card and to like get payment, so it makes it super hard to do a dual live.
Huh. Okay. Are you doing Repticon Orlando?
Yeah.
I'm going to ponder what you just told me about, and I'm going to see if I could fix that issue for you.
Okay.
And,
it would be perfect on there.
Yeah. Maybe when we meet again in Orlando, we could do another podcast, do something like that.
Okay.
But cool, bro. So you have that coming up. How has that been for the vendors? Are they like selling animals regularly?
Yeah,
like,
they're doing pretty good. The show's not doing too much online. We haven't really promoted it on Facebook as much lately because we're trying to move platforms.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just hit our 550 follower mark, so
let's go, dude.
Pretty dope. And then we got that year show coming up, so we got a pretty good foot in the door, cool. I think.
Hell yeah, bro. Well, tag yourself one more time and we'll get out of here.
All right. Again, I'm Tyler with Quality Bred Exotics.
And we're back. Yes, the talk of the town is the storm. Yeah. It seems like that's kind of what's weighing on everybody, which is understandable. But, Eric, you're feeling a little bit better today.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear
all those
it.
Potions you gave me on Friday.
I
felt
saved
like crap
the man
yesterday, but hey.
I saved
They're working today.
Good. Well, I had told you, it's like the worst day of your sickness is usually the last day. So you needed to go through it, even though it sucks because it was the first day, so that way you're done. You're moving past it now.
It's not the last day, though. I mean, I'm still sick.
No, but you're in recovery mode. Now your immune system's like, all right, we got this. We can handle this. So I was going to ask you, now that we've gone through the show and we walked around it and stuff like that, what animals do you think are underrepresented? What animals would you like to see more at these shows?
I just want to see more. Well, it's kind of hard because only so many animals can, make the best overall pet for people.
Yeah.
So obviously
even if it didn't have to be a pet, just animals that you're just like, this needs to be a little bit more active in the hobby. Yeah.
I mean, the niche stuff. I'd always like to see, if we're talking really specific, I'd like to see more Chilobothrus, the Caribbean boas.
Yeah.
There's a few people who work with them. I just never really see them.
Yeah.
Like Dominican Reds, the Cuban boas, Puerto Rican boa.
You see them once a year.
I'll see them once a year at Daytona.
Yeah.
But I'll see them all over Instagram. People work with them. It's just they're not showing up, which is fine. They can do whatever they want.
Ooh, the voice of God.
I want to thank everybody on behalf of USR Florida for coming out to our auction last night. We had an awesome turnout. We will have the total tomorrow. We had a computer glitch last night. I called technical support. It was
That's where you got to go.
So be on the lookout and please check our Facebook page and Instagram. Mr. Daniel will have it posted. But again, thank you so much for all your support. It was fun and let's keep on fighting. Have a good day.
USR Florida, the voice of God.
Voice of God.
Anyway, so Chilobothrus.
Chilobothrus would be pretty sick to see more of. I think they're really cool. I mean, not to say that Amazon tree boas and emeralds are common, because I don't really think they are. But, there's more in that kind of flavor of boa, if that makes any sense.
Got you.
It'd be cool to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I am seeing a little bit more knobtails every now and then. I'll see... Funny enough, I thought that I'd be seeing Levis more, but I've been seeing a lot more Cinctus, if anything.
Yeah.
The barking geckos are coming up. I just want to see more of that stuff.
Underworthosaurus.
Yeah, just more variety. I mean, it's hard for me because I've already seen so many things, and I'm kind of I know what I like, and I'm lucky and fortunate enough that I already have what I like, so I'm not really looking for anything, but it would be really cool to have more of that, niche stuff out there just to look at and to think about and possibly get. So.
I was actually listening to the Animals at Home podcast. He had somebody on that works with the Dominican mountain boas. Yeah. And what I didn't know was that the actual reds, are only found in a specific area. Mm-hmm. And obviously, as babies, baby animals sometimes, most times, they change coloration into adulthood. So the babies, you can't really tell. You really have to, when you're looking for them, you have to be paying attention to what the parents look like to kind of hope that you get an animal that's going to look like that. Yeah. Which I thought rough, but also cool, because that's an animal that I would like to work with. I definitely have to calm down a lot of the things that I'm doing, because that's an animal that I need to pay attention to. Yeah. But, yeah, I really like the Dominican Reds. Yeah.
I just think the Caribbean just has so many cool stuff. Like, I mean, Cyclura.
Yeah.
Peak iguana, for me. People sometimes, I mean, it's not like people are saying that we need more Caribbean stuff in the hobby, but it's like there's some representation out there, but I think the snakes, I would like to see more snakes around.
Yeah, you had also told me something about Indian animals, like some.
Yeah, you were showing me the thing about a new species that was discovered or rediscovered, I think.
Yeah.
And then that got me thinking, there's not a lot of Indian stuff. I mean, you can argue that leopard geckos kind of count in there. You'll see some of the subspecies that are from India. Yeah. But that's about it. I mean, we have just a few miscellaneous lizards here and there. But India doesn't really have a whole lot of stuff that's common. There's stuff out there for sure. Yeah. But there's not a whole lot of things that people look at. Yeah. Other than the geckos.
And Conception's table, we've seen leopard geckos from the central. We've seen leopard geckos from the west. He has eastern ones. Yeah. And they have a different, a longer and larger head, but the body pattern is almost an African fat tail. Yep. It's so weird.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
I always think about you can, in specifically leopard gecko morphs too, you can always see which ones. Yeah. Once you have the eye, once you know what the subspecies are, you can see which ones come from which subspecies, which I think is always funny.
Yeah.
But I think the regular subspecies, just plain, are just so much cooler. Because it's I think it's the Angry Mayu or something like that, which is a Super Saiyan leopard gecko, just giant, super long legs, long tail. And it's funny too, because sometimes depending on who passes by the table. I remember Conception was telling me too, people think it's just a skinny leopard gecko.
Yeah.
I was it's skinny.
No, dude, it's a different thing.
It's a different species, and people.
This one does backflips.
What I think is crazy is that sometimes people don't know that there's different species, like bearded dragons. There's I don't know how many species, but there's a good amount. That we don't have here in the States. Yeah. And then just to think about that, it kind of blows people's minds. Yeah. Same thing you could even say with the ball pythons, the Volta, or is that what it is?
Yeah, Volta is an area. Yeah.
It's cool to see that there's actually different
variability
of the common stuff that we keep.
Yeah.
That we don't see.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hell yeah. Well, we'll start closing this episode off. I know it was a little bit of a short one, but we got to get back to it. There's also a lot of tension online because of change of presidency. So. A lot of people are back and forth and, not wanting to stay online. So we're going to keep this one short. I did want to say before we get off, obviously like, comment, subscribe, share with your reptile-loving friends. But also, for these episodes, for the Reptile Show episodes, what would you guys like to see? Do you want to see more interviews? Do you want to see us talk more about the shows? Or do you want just our regular podcast with our regular style of topics? We talk about some news. We kind of laugh about certain things. We just do that at a reptile show. How would you guys better like these specific episodes? Because what I've noticed is that, there are a amount of people that prefer just us hanging out and that kind of thing, so whenever we do these reptile show ones and it's more interview based with different people, some of those people might not show up, but then there obviously is a different crowd that likes the interview base, that wants to learn from all these different breeders, or is it that we're not asking them the right questions? Do you guys want specific questions to be asked to these people? Just let us know in the comments or send us a message. It's better in the YouTube comments. It's better for our engagement and stuff like that. But yes, let us know what you guys want from the show. Once again, thank you so much for Repticon for having us out. We love going to these shows. I'm excited already for next year. And yeah, this was the Reptiles with Podcast.